All right, it's the end of the week, so I'm going to do my weekly wrap up, which includes me wrapping up the books I read, the anime I've watched, TV shows, movies, and video games I might have played, and how I feel about them. I'm going to start with books, and the books I've read this week are Capone 1 and 2. And I will say this is a really good series. Like, the characters are very, like, oh my God, it's just, I can't even put into words how good the series is. I will say that I recommended it to a friend to read, and she read like 3 of the books in like 36 hours. But yeah, so the characters I feel with so much depth. They grow so much over the course of the 2 books. I'm currently on book 3 and I'm halfway through. But the characters have shown so much growth despite the trauma and everything that's going on. It is a urban romance. But I do think that you should read it because it is a really, really good book so far. I'm excited to see what the rest of the series will bring. I don't know how to describe it without giving too much of it away. Like, I'm not a person who reads synopsis of books. I really like to go into books blind for the most part. And that way I'm super shocked about what is expected. I will read trigger warnings if a book has trigger warnings. But, so yeah, so I did read those 2. I also read The Reformatory, which is another excellent read. It takes place in the 1950s. It's about a brother and a sister, and the brother was saving his sister from being like sexually harassed by a white kid, a white boy or whatever. He kicked him. He ended up being sentenced to like 6 months in reform school. And it just so happened that the little boy could see ghosts or haints, as they're called in the book. And it deals with a lot of trauma from it being 1950s. It takes place in Florida, it being in the South. And you deal with a lot of trauma of what the main characters are going through, what the other boys who were sentenced to reform school go to, the ghost and what they're going to. I can say it's a very emotional read. I was on the edge of my seat for the most part of the book. I did have to take frequent breaks because of the heaviness of the topic, especially considering it took place in the 1950s as in the South. So you could imagine like some of the things they were talking about in the book. But I will recommend it. It was really good. Really, really good. I'm excited to read other books by this author. My next book was called Midnights with You, which was another really, really good book. It's about a Filipino girl who's meets a boy. She's dealing with like her mother, and their relationship is kind of like toxic, and the boy is also dealing with some heaviness with his family, and so they meet and they bond over that. But you see how things work in Filipino culture. You also see how you grow up affects how you navigate relationships, whether it be romantic or friendship, platonic. That's covered in the book. It starts off as a YA, really good. I do recommend that you read that one. I did have a lot of really great. The 4 books I read this week were really, really good. Now let's move on to anime. I finished Death Note. I don't know if anybody else watched Death Note. If you did, tell me about it in the comments. I finished Death Note, and what I can say about Death Note is it the last 10, 12 episodes shouldn't have happened. Like, I really enjoyed the first 20-ish episodes. Like the first 14 I consumed super fast in a day. And then I watched the next ones. And then after one of the main characters passed away, I continued to watch and I'm like, man, these episodes seem to really, really drag. Like I thought they had increased the length of the show after like, that happened or whatever. And my friend was like, no, it's still the same amount of minutes. And I'm like, really? He was like, yeah, a lot of people don't really care for it after, after one of the characters passed away. And I was like, oh, I can see why. I finished it. I didn't say who. My wife's back there yelling at me, talking about spoilers. I mean, Death Note is like 15 years old. If you haven't watched it by now, I'm late. I didn't really spoil too much, but sorry. Just one of the main characters passed away, and, the show should have stopped there. But, yeah, so that's how I feel with Death Note. The animes I do plan on watching, I gotta finish Demon Slayer. I want to finish the Apothecary Diaries, but I did cancel my Crunchyroll, so I don't know how I'm gonna do that. And that's about it. My friend sent me a list of some really good romance ones, so I'm gonna look through that and see which one I plan on starting. Another thing I want to talk about is what I've been watching on TV, like regular TV. Me and my wife, we started watching Temptation Island. So we started watching Temptation Island the other day, and we're watching it, and we're like, why do people go on this damn show? Like, we really cannot understand why people go on this show, because one, you're taking your significant other there to be tempted, obviously, Temptation Island. And then you put all these rules in place on your significant other, like, hey, don't go here, don't touch nobody, don't do nothing to nobody. Like, I just want to see if you could be faithful. Why your significant other is surrounded by 20 members of the opposite sex, like, and they have like themed nights, like lingerie night. First night on the show, like after they went on their dates or whatever, the girls came and they were after the men went on their dates, when they came back to the house and was talking to the other girls, they put on like a whole lingerie night. People were giving body shots, licking whipped cream off each other. And I'm like, oh my God. Me and my wife was watching it like, they gonna pick this part to be at the bonfire. They gonna pick this part. And we already knew that the bonfire wasn't gonna show none of the scenes in context, because why would they? How they gonna create drama if they show, like the duration of the scene instead of like a 15-second clip? And so you get to the bonfire, and it's so funny because, one, we were really accurate with the scenes we thought they were gonna pick, because not all, like, you could tell who, like, it's a black couple on there, and the guy keeps hyping up how sexual he is and how, like, he won all these threesomes and stuff. So, of course, he's one of the dudes. They got this girl licking whipped cream off of him, right? And I'm like, they gonna pick that to show to his girlfriend on bonfire night. And they did. And she was like flipping out because they got that scene, and then they got this other scene of him talking about how sexual he is. And you sitting there and you like, it's in context, but it's out of context at the same time. And then they had showed a scene to one of the guys where the girl was talking about how better off she is alone and how her dude basically ain't nothing. But they missed a whole lot of context of why that conversation even came up. But yeah, show full of drama, but really enjoy it. And also the girls who go there and be like, I'm gonna steal him from his girlfriend. I'm gonna steal him from his girlfriend. Or why he always talking about his girlfriend? This man really sad about his girlfriend. Like, you went on the show knowing they were gonna be they were coming attached to somebody. Like, what? Weird. But still gonna watch it because I get a kick out of reality TV sometimes. That's one of the shows I can't give up. Like, I used to be like a housewife person, but I'm not really into that anymore. We also started I can't never remember the name of the show. The White House show?
The Resident.
The Residence. Yes, thank you. We also started The Residence. And I didn't get through the first episode yet because I kind of fell asleep because I've been PMSing, but I'm really excited. I love me a good whodunit, Knives Out, kind of like Clue, which, cult classic, love Clue. I love me shows like that, so I can't wait to continue to watch this one. And I also want to watch Adolescence, so we'll see how those go. Oh, the season finale of Severance. That was good. So good. Amazing. If you haven't watched Severance, you need to be watching Severance. Like, really good show. So on Apple TV, everybody should watch it because I need them to keep coming out with seasons. But let me know what you thought about Severance if you watched it. Also, the last thing, the game I'm playing right now, I'm playing 2 games right now, one on my Switch, one on my PC. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, which I'm obsessed with. Like, I play it every night before bed to help me unwind. Like, I get on, do my dailies and stuff like that. I don't really tackle all of my quests until the weekend. It's a very cozy game. Like, I know a lot of games say they cozy and then you get there and you be like, this is kind of high energy cozy. No, this is a really chill game. You could kind of compare it to Animal Crossing, but the reason the difference is it feels like you can't do everything quickly in this game because you have to level up certain friendships to unlock certain quests. Whereas in Animal Crossing, it was like I beat that game really, really fast. But yeah, so Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I'm also playing Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm really enjoying it. It's my first Monster Hunter game that I'm really invested in. I did play the first one and I didn't play it like continuously. I will say I've seen a lot of people complaining about the graphics and stuff for the PC. And I have seen the difference in PC versus system, and I'm kind of regretting spending my money on it on PC. But hopefully they update it soon and then, everything be okay. Because I'm not sure if it's like people with terrible PCs. I mean, my graphics card is not like the newest, but it's definitely not the oldest. So I think they on 5 and I got a 3. So whatever. So yeah, that's my weekly wrap up. Let me know what you looking forward to next week. All right, bye.